Good evening students. In today's video, we'll be discussing the drape behavior of textiles. Drapeability of any material is very important because it helps in determining that how the fabric will hang under its own weight when made into garment or even in two-dimensional form when the fabric is used. For example, if we see curtains hanging or the tablecloth or the bed sheet, so such fabrics are draping against the effect of gravity and under the effect of their own weight. And any fabric which is made into garment, it should also exhibit good drape properties so that garment can conform to the body contour, can provide the proper fit. So in that way, the drape behavior of fabrics of textile materials is very crucial and its evaluation is important. So it has an important bearing on how the garment will look in actual use when actually the garment will be worn on a dress form or a human body. How will it appear? The required draping properties will depend on the application area of that fabric. For example, if it is to be used for home textiles, if the fabric is to be made into a garment, and even in garment, what kind of fit is required. We want a close fitting garment or we want a tailored kind of look. So based on that, the fabric will be selected and each type of fabric will have a different drape property. For example, knitted fabrics are quite floppy and the garments will follow the body contour. That is why if you see that most of the garments which are skin hugging, which closely follow the body contours, are made from knitted fabrics, while woven fabrics are stiffer and as compared to knitted fabrics, and they are generally suitable for tailored garments as these fabrics hang away from the body. So in a way they disguise the body contour. So this drape behavior of textiles can be objectively evaluated, and the instrument which is used for its measurement is Cusick drape tester. So in this case, the specimen deforms with multi-directional curvature, and the drape behavior of textile materials depend on the bending stiffness, that is the bending properties of the textile material, and on the shear properties of the fabric. What is basically shear? It is the ability of material to undergo complex deformations, then two-dimensional bending. In actual wear, when the garment will be worn, it is not just subjected to two-dimensional bending, but it can undergo complex deformation in different directions. So, in order to see that how the fabric, when made into garment, will actually perform under such deformations, the shear properties, the drape behavior of the textile is important to be assessed. The bending stiffness also has a determining effect on the drape behavior of textile materials. We'll just see that higher the bending stiffness or the bending rigidity of material, that fabric would exhibit lower drapeability, that is it would be exhibiting a higher value of drape coefficient. So what is drape coefficient? We'll be discussing it further. So in this Cusick drape tester, basically how the testing is performed. Testing involves holding circular sample concentrically between two small horizontal discs. These are the two discs between which a circular sample will be placed. If you can see, this portion is the supported portion of the fabric between these circular discs, while this is the unsupported portion. Here we have a light source. This light source will be supplying light, will be throwing light on the fabric so as to cast a shadow of the unsupported portion. So here you can see a parabolic mirror is present. So a shadow of this unsupported fabric which will be hanging under its own weight, that shadow will be formed, and that shadow is taken on a paper ring which is of the same size as this paper sample, as this fabric sample. So this gives the description. Sample is allowed to drape into folds under its own weight as shown here. A light source supplies light on sample from beneath. This is the light source. Shadow casted by the fabric is traced on annular paper piece as the unsupported area of fabric So this is the unsupported area of the fabric on both sides, and the shadow will be casted on this paper ring which is placed here. So the stiffer the fabric, the larger the area of its shadow compared with the unsupported area of the fabric. So as we discussed earlier, that the drape behavior of the textile material will depend on two parameters, that is on the shear and the bending rigidity or the stiffness of the material. So stiffer the material, the stiffer the textile material or the specimen that is being tested here, so the larger the area of its shadow, the shadow which will be formed on this paper will be larger compared to the unsupported area of the fabric. So this is the unsupported area of the fabric. So this is basically showing that what we will be achieving as the shadow is formed. This is the circular ring which is the supported portion of the fabric, and this is how the unsupported portion forms the shadow. So this is showing the paper ring and the fabric shadow. This is the schematics of the Cusick drape tester, how the sample is mounted and the light is thrown onto the sample, how the testing takes place, that we will be discussing. So if we have to put it in a simpler version, so you have a light source here, a supporting disc on which the fabric will be positioned, and this is the initial area of the specimen, the test sample which is taken, and the paper on which the shadow will be casted, and the shadow shaded area will be determined. So that paper should be of the same size as this initial size of the specimen or the test sample that we are taking here for the measurement. So we obtain a parameter known as drape coefficient, which is the parameter determining the drape behavior of the textiles. So what is drape coefficient basically and how it is determined? So for the determination of this drape coefficient, we require area. How the area is measured? We measure that paper ring on which this paper ring on which the shadow of the shadow of the fabric was casted. So the area of the paper is determined and this paper is weighed considering that the mass of the paper ring is constant, cutting away the shadow part of the ring and weighing. So this is the shaded part which is then cut away and it is also weighed. So the drape coefficient is determined as a ratio of the mass of the shaded area, that is the mass of this shaded area which is cut from the paper, to the total mass of the paper ring. So the total mass of the paper ring is known to us, as we have calculated. The paper ring is taken exactly of the same size as the test sample. Its mass is measured. The mass of the shaded area is determined from the paper and multiplied by 100. It gives us the drape coefficient. So higher the drape coefficient, the stiffer is the fabric. The more the value of this drape coefficient, it indicates that that fabric will be that fabric is stiffer and its drapeability will not be so good for apparel applications. So this is a closer view of the Cusick drape meter, and this is how the shadow of the unsupported area of the fabric is cast. This circular portion on the inside shows the support on which the fabric is rested. So in a conventional method, a circular fabric sample of 36 centimeters in diameter is allowed to drape over a horizontally placed circular rigid disc of 18 centimeters in diameter. So this circular ring is half the diameter of the fabric sample. That is why the unsupported area will be hanging in the form of folds, for which the shadow will be cast and the area of that shadow will be measured. Typically the fabric deforms as a series of folds around the disc. Around this disc it will be hanging in and the shadow will be recorded. By vertically projecting the shadow of the draped sample on the paper ring placed on the top plate of the drape meter, the shadow configuration of drape image can be traced onto the paper ring. So the paper ring containing the shadow image of this form is then weighed, and we assume that this weight is W1. What is W1? W1 is the weight of that shadowed image because of the unsupported portion of the fabric. The shadow image is cut from the paper ring and weighed W2, and this ratio, that is the ratio of W1 and W2 multiplied by 100, gives the drape coefficient, as we discussed here, that is mass of shaded area to the total mass of the paper ring. That gives the drape coefficient of the textile material. So there is a modified version of this drape measurement also, where the shadow that is being formed, it can be captured using a digital camera here, and it can be connected to a computer interface so that the image can be captured here, can be taken here. So the initial sample mounting, the unsupported portion of fabric, it is more or less the same as in the conventional method. The only difference is that this modification has taken place, that is above this, you can see here is the Cusick drape meter. So above this a camera is mounted, and this camera is connected to a computer interface, where on the computer screen directly we can have the image of the projected area, or the image of the shadow that is being created, which was earlier taken on the paper. So in the modified digital process, the instrument setup consists of a Cusick drape meter like this. This one or this one, you can say, digital camera to capture the draped image of the mounted fabric sample. This is the digital camera which will be capturing the image. Computer to analyze the captured image. Computer will be capturing the image and translate into appropriate output. A digital camera was placed above the Cusick drape meter. The camera was mounted at a distance sufficient to focus the paper ring placed on the top plate of the Cusick drape meter. So exact positioning of camera is very essential, so that we can have clarity in the picture that will be shown here on the computer display. After allowing the sample to fall, the image of the draped configuration was captured using a commercial digital camera. Captured image was transferred to computer and processed using Adobe Photoshop software. So the edges of the image can be sharpened using this software, and the raw edges of the draped fabric have been cropped or trimmed using the software. The draped coefficient of fabric was calculated using the image pixels and the image resolution from the draped specimen. So this is the modified version of the Cusick drape meter, where it is equipped with a digital camera or any other camera, and with a computer interface. So far we have discussed the handle properties of the textile materials, which include bending, crease recovery, and the drape behavior of the textiles. So next we will be discussing the seam strength of the material. So basically in this video I'll give a brief introduction about the seam strength, and the evaluation part we'll be covering in the next video. So before beginning with seam strength, basically we should know what is seam. Seam is a joint between two pieces of fabric. Any two pieces of fabric joined together by application of series of rows of stitches is known as seam. Single fabric folded and rows of stitches applied, for example in case of hemming, where the fabric is folded onto itself and rows of stitches are applied. Or more than two fabric components joined. More than two fabrics, three fabrics can also be joined by the application of stitches. So all these together constitute the seam. So all of you will appreciate that seam is of course an important component of the garment, because the stitches, the sewing thread that goes into the making of this seam will become an integral part of the fabric and the garment. So the garment performance will depend on the seam, will depend on the seam strength, it will depend on the sewing performance. If the seam is of inferior strength, if the seam is poor in its strength, so during washing, during wearing, when the garment will be subjected to different kind of stresses, the seam won't be able to withstand those stresses, and as a result the seam may open up. So it is very important that the seam strength should be evaluated, as it has an important bearing on the garment properties. So we have different seam classes. So the seams are divided into 6 classes, that is from class 1 to class 6, which we had discussed in earlier classes. So like superimposed seam, lap seam, bound seam, flat seam. So these seams basically differ in their construction, in the number of fabric components, and of course they will, as the number of components vary, the thread consumption for the seams vary, so they will be varying in their strength too. So if we talk about the factors which affect the seam strength, seam type, that is out of these 6 classes which seam type is being used, a flat seam or bound seam or a superimposed seam is used, what kind of sewing thread is used. We can have 100% cotton sewing thread, we can have polyester sewing thread used for making the seams, or it can be polyester cotton coarse spun sewing thread. So the type of sewing thread that is used, the stitch density, that is the number of stitches per centimeter or per inch, will have an important influence, will be influencing or determining the strength of the seam allowance, the margin that is left from the edge of the fabric parameters like the areal density, thickness, the fabric construction, the fabric cover factor, then thread tension. All these factors will influence the seam properties or the seam strength. Seam strength is important to assess the performance of garment in after use, when that garment will be washed, when the wearer will be involved in different physical activities, walking, bending, moving arm. So in the seamed portion of the garment, it will be subjected to stresses, and even when it is washed, at that time also, when it is tumble dried in washing machine, or even if it is hand laundered or washed, so care needs to be taken so that these seams do not open up. So it has an important this property is of course determined by the seam strength, and in this case thread tension is of course a critical factor. If the thread is too tight in the seam, its natural elongation is withdrawn, allowing the thread to fail prematurely. This is particularly true when garments are subjected to after-make laundry process. So, we must appreciate that during the sewing process, when the sewing thread is passed, as it is passed through the eye of the needle, it passes through several tension devices or thread guides. So the purpose behind that is to maintain a proper thread tension, because in case of inadequate or excess of thread tension, it can affect the seam strength or the seam related properties. So in this video, so far we have discussed the drape related properties, the significance of drape, how drape is measured on the conventional method, and when the conventional method has a computer interface attached to it. Then we discuss the basics, that what are the different seam classes, what is the importance of studying seam strength, and what factors like the type of seam, sewing thread, the thread tension, stitch density, how these factors can influence the seam strength. So in the next video we will be discussing the evaluation method, that is how the seam strength can be evaluated or tested. Thank you.